Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dami and you're welcome to Dami Dimension channel if you're new. So this sleeve has been trending recently and I just thought I should make it for my subscribers and my viewers. And depending on what method you use in making this sleeve, it can really consume a lot of fabric just to achieve one of these rows. So I figured out that I should make a video for you guys to show you how you can use the least possible fabric to achieve these rows that you can use on your sleeve and your design. So this is the fabric I'm going to be using and it's just about 19 inches by 36 inches. You can imagine how little it is. Yeah, so that's what we are going to be using in this video. So I'm just going to be dividing this fabric into 3 equal parts. Since it's about 19 inches, by the time I divide it into 3, I'm going to be having just a bit over 6 inches for each of the strips. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just folding it into 3 and cutting it into 3. Alright, so I'm just checking to make sure everything is the same as the first strip, and then cleaning off the rough edges. And here I have my 3 strips. Okay, so what I need to do now is to place them on each other and join like this, right sides facing each other, and then join the third one as well so that I can have a whole long single strip. So here is my basic sleeve pattern. I have a video on this. I'm going to link it in the description box at the end of this video or in the card as well, so you can check it out if you haven't seen it. So you just need to determine how big you want your rows to be. If you want to use it on your sleeve or on the back of your dress, in the front, anywhere you can use it to design your dress. So I'm just going to determine how big I want it to be, and this is going to be the center. So I'm assuming it's going to be this big, for example, or this big. You know, just eyeball it, determine how big you want it to be. So I'm just picking the radius that I want. So I'm considering 4 inches now. It's going to be something like this if it's 4 inches. If you want, you can make it 3 inches. If you want it smaller, it's going to be something like this, or radius of 5 inches is even going to be bigger, but I think I'm okay with 4, so I'm going to be making use of 4 inches radius. Okay, so that's what we are going to be using to cut our circle now for the base. So this is the fabric I'm going to be using for the base. It's a really thick, kind of sturdy fabric. So I just cut out a little piece out of it just to be easier for me to work with. So I'm folding it into 4 like so that I can cut out my circle. And here is the center point. It's going to be the center point of my circle. So I'm just placing a mark. I'm going to be needing that mark later. So just place a mark, and then I'm taking that 4 inches radius and I'm adding ½ inch joining allowance because I'm going to be joining 2 of the circles together. So place your mark like that, 4½ and take it round, you know, just like you're cutting a circle. And then I'm cutting that. All right, and once I open it up, I'm going to be having a circle, and I'm placing that circle on my leftover fabric to cut out another circle. Right, once that is done, here is it. Then you place it on top of each other and join round by that ½ inch joining allowance that we left, and you're going to be leaving 2 inches, or you know, whatever you find comfortable, so you can turn it inside out. Okay, so if you want, you can iron visible interfacing on it to make it stronger depending on the fabric you're using, but for me this fabric is really strong, as you can see, so I'm not adding any interfacing. So here is it after I'm done joining round, and I left that a little bit of space so I can turn it out, and then I'm notching it all around so that it can be flat and nice when I'm done. So now I'm just flipping it inside out. And once that is done, this is what I have. And you remember that point that we marked? So from there, we're just going to be drawing like a spiral. So just keep drawing the spiral from that center point all around like that. You should determine how wide apart you want the spiral lines to be. You can make it wider than mine if you want. So I actually don't need it to be this close. So based on the fabric that you want to use, you can just eyeball it and do it that way. It's very, very easy. Another way of determining how long or how much fabric you need for your strips is to measure around these spiral lines like this. So just measure them round like that. So whatever you have, you can multiply it by 2 or multiply it by 3 depending on how much you want to pleat. So now I'm just setting that aside, and as you can see, I already joined my strips together. So I'm just showing you the width again. It's just about 6 inches. So I already joined them together to form a whole long piece. And next thing, I'm just going to be flipping them like this, right side facing each other. Then I'm going to be curving the end like this. I'm also going to repeat this curve on the second end, and I'm going to cut it out. And this is just to give us that kind of smooth ending for the flowers once we are sewing it. So I'm going to sew this way all the way through the entire strip. Then I'll turn it inside out. And the reason why I choose to turn it inside out this way is because I want to get rid of the raw edges as much as possible. If you've been watching my video a lot, you know that I really like to keep it as clean as possible. Another option for you is to overlock all the raw edges. Remember to curve the second end as well. So this is what it looks like once I'm done. You can see the second end is also curved. And please make sure you join by just a little bit, even lower than 1/4 of an inch, so that you don't run short of fabric. So I left a bit of hole here where I'm going to be bringing it inside out. And once I'm done bringing it inside out, this is what I have. So you notice that I didn't press it too much. So make sure you don't iron. If you're using my kind of fabric, make sure you don't press it too much, because if you press it too much, by the time you are pleating it, this part is going to be too flat and it's not going to give your flower that fluffiness that you need. Okay, so now I'm just going to be pleating it all along that spiral that I just indicated. Starting from here, I'm just going to place it and pleat and join it and pleat, sew it down all the way around. Like this is a very easy, quick and simple rows that you can use to spice up your sleeve or your dress. Okay, so here is what my starting point looks like, and this is it as I move along. And this is what it looks like once we are done. And as you can see, we are still able to achieve what we want without having to use the interfacing or gum stay or anything like that. And we made use of a very, very little fabric. You can cut it as a flounce, but if you want to do that, then just note that you're going to be using a whole lot of fabric. And imagine if you want to have 2 sleeves, then it's possible for you to be using 2 to 3 yards for just this row. So try this method. If it works for you, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel for more and more videos like this. So let's meet in my next video. Bye.